If you're the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, you know having a trusted partner makes all the difference. That's why, hands down, you count on Grainger for auto reordering. With on-time restocks, your team will have the cut-resistant gloves they need at the start of their shift. And you can end your day knowing they've got safety well in hand. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What is up, Buffalo Fanatics? Z-Bot, Rico. It's Rico and Bot on the Buffalo Fanatics YouTube channel on a Friday afternoon as we get you set for Week 15, a massive showdown in the AFC East with the title for the division potentially on the line. The rematch between the 11-2 New England Patriots and the 9-4 Buffalo Bills, this time on the road in Foxborough, 1 p.m. Eastern, this upcoming Sunday. If the Bills want any chance of remaining alive in the AFC East, the ability to win it for a sixth consecutive season, they must win on Sunday, or it's a hat and T-shirt game for the Patriots. Rico, a lot on the line in this one. The bitter rivalry that really never existed between the Bills and the Patriots, but it existed for us. Growing up, for me, all I ever wanted to do was beat Tom Brady, so it felt like a rivalry to me. I would imagine that New England Patriots fans would tell you the opposite. But now there is a rivalry brewing. It has reemerged. It's being put back on the line on Sunday in a massive game in the middle of December. How are you feeling, brother?
You know what? You don't really think about it until someone brings it up, and you brought it up, and this rivalry. We've never really experienced a true, at least recently, a true rivalry, because it was always belt to ass from Patriots delivering it to the Bills, and then it came to a point where there was a retirement. And then the Bills started to really emerge, and then we started to lay belt to ass. But there's never really been that back and forth. It now seems like there is one. But here's where I'm like, I kind of like it. Some folks might say, no, I want to dominate always, right? We talk about how tough the AFC North is, or the NFC North, how tough it is, and how closely the games are. I mean, you just saw a battle for the NFC South last night where a team is completely eliminated. But what a game that was. I do appreciate this rivalry that now has been created. And this gives the Bills motivation now to always know that you can't take being number one in this division for granted. Everybody's trying to take down the champ, right? The AFC champ. We've had it for 5 years now. And right now, they're knocking on the door to take that away from us. So we have an opportunity to delay this hat and T-shirt fiesta that they're trying to take down and have. And I kind of like this. I like the pressure that it brings to the Bills to let them know that you can't take this for granted. You can get knocked off the pedestal at any time. So this is a huge game. Looking forward to it. And we can't let them celebrate. We just can't. On their home turf, we can't walk off the field and have them pull T-shirts and hats out while we're watching this. This gives me Diggs a la 2020 AFC Championship game where he's standing there watching the Chiefs celebrate. I don't want that. Don't want no parts of it. We need to spoil this hat and T-shirt game. But I kind of do like the rivalry at the same time. Are you in on that? Do you like this rivalry, or I don't want it. I want no parts of it. I want us to be able to give them the beats every year. How are you feeling on this new potential brewing rivalry?
Well, it's pretty amazing, isn't it? Because for 20 years, the Bills were under siege. I mean, they were getting fired at. Bullets just all over the place. Couldn't get out of the way of the warfare that was the New England Patriots. And then, of course, there was a time where the Jets, they had their mini run there with Mark Sanchez. There was a couple of years where the Dolphins were able to emerge. The Bills could never do it. They were just constantly being peppered with bullets. Now, the last 5 years, the Bills have been Matrix-style dodging bullets. They haven't come close to getting hit, other than that 1 year, of course, where Miami had that lead in the division, a pretty sizable lead going into December. It completely evaporated. The Bills get all the way to Week 18, where that game essentially becomes a playoff game with the title on the line in primetime in Miami, and the Bills win it. So you look around the league, like right now I look at the NFC West, and you could make an argument right now that the top 3 teams in the NFC are all in that division. The LA Rams, the Seattle Seahawks, and the San Francisco 49ers. And I think right now there might be an argument that the best 2 teams in the NFL are in the NFC West, in the LA Rams and the Seattle Seahawks, who actually go to battle a week from last night on Thursday Night Football. That game is going to be as big of a mid-December game as I can remember. It's probably going to be for the division. So you look around the league and you see these bitter rivalries and these teams constantly having to go toe-to-toe just to fight for a wild card spot or potentially win their division. And nothing's guaranteed. It's essentially been guaranteed for Buffalo over the last half decade. And you thought it was going to continue to be guaranteed for some time here. We knew the Patriots were going to get better. We knew that they were going to continue to progress. They hire Mike Vrabel. We knew that was going to be a good hire. We could see that Drake May had some makings there of a franchise quarterback. They had a lot of cap money to use. I just don't think we thought it was going to happen this quick. I mean, I think everybody thought they were going to take a step forward, but they've ran a mile in terms of, you thought they were going to close it by maybe a couple of feet, and they wind up closing a mile-sized gap awfully quickly here. So this is certainly a rivalry for right now. We don't know how long it'll last, and that could go both ways. We've talked about this, where the Bills could all of a sudden find themselves in a landslide within this division. The Patriots could go the other way. It could remain real steadfast here, or maybe the Patriots just had a one-off year. I think that's unlikely, but who knows? But no doubt about it, this rivalry, at least for this season, is well alive, and this could be the second of potentially 3 matchups, Rico. This could be another year where the Bills find themselves playing New England in the postseason, because if New England ends up with the 1 seed, well, in order for Buffalo to get to the Super Bowl, they're going to have to go through them at some point, it would seem. So this game's huge, and we've talked about it. I think that there's more on the line here than just the AFC East title. McDermott losing to this Patriots team twice in Vrabel's first year as the coach of this team and Drake May's second season, I just think it would be a horrid look. I think it's already a horrendous look that they're going to win the division and that they have a very likely chance to get the 1 seed. This would just be an egregious stain on top of an already disastrous T-shirt that has been worn throughout the duration of this season. So I think that this game is absolutely massive, Rico, and I can't wait for it.
Okay, so this is such a great, this is why I love our back and forth banter, because it just leans us. You crossed over. I'm sitting on the 3-point line. You dished it out. I'm ready to take that shot. So it brings me to this. The Patriots and Bills is a big game. You talked about a potential 3rd game that could happen in the postseason. So who needs it more in this game this Sunday, this afternoon, which is a shame that it didn't get flexed, but it is what it is. I'll take that 1 p.m. afternoon game.
Especially when you look at what the Sunday night game is, by the way, Rico, egregious. Agreed. Did you see what it is?
I didn't see what Sunday night was. Who was it?
Dallas, Minnesota in week 15.
Gross.
What are we doing?
Absolute
What are we
gross.
doing?
Yeah, you got to flex that out of there. Get out of here, man. J.J. McCarthy, you kidding me? No.
9.
No thanks. It brings me back to this. Who needs it more? The Patriots or the Bills? And I want you to be reflective on this, because both teams are fighting for something here, right? You've got the Patriots and I'll let you form your own opinion here. You got the Patriots that have their reasonings as to why this game is important, and then you have the Bills on the other hand. So, in your opinion, and you can play it on one side or both sides, but who needs it more, Patriots or Bills?
Real quick, as we're talking about postseason, are you in your fantasy playoffs, by the way?
Oh, do not get me started on my fantasy. Do not get me started on my fantasy. I went 7-7. I went on a 4-game win streak to end my season, and just to lose my last game, and it came to points, and I lost by 15 points for, and I'm out. This is the first year I'm out of the playoffs in a long time. I'm not feeling good right now. Tell me about your experience, because I know we're going to get into this Bills Patriots, but you need to tell me about your fantasy football, because I'd throw up if I were you.
Yeah, I'll be joining you on the couch soon, because I had to go up against Kyle Pitts on Thursday Night Football. The man has not had a 100-plus yard game since 2021. I mean, we were still in the midst of quarantine at that point, the last time that this guy put out a 100-plus yard game. And in the first round of the playoffs, where I have a team that can legitimately go the distance and win it, my opponent scores 51.10 fantasy points with Kyle Pitts. I'm in a premium tight end league, and he finishes the day with 11 catches, just south of 170 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I went and looked it up, and it was the second best fantasy performance by a tight end in a PPR league of all time. And you'd have to go back to 1981, which, by the way, who the hell was playing fantasy football in 1981? And if you were, I mean, what were you using? An Etch-a-Sketch? How the hell could you possibly even be playing? You didn't have the Sleeper app. I mean, did you even have there wasn't internet. And if there was, I mean, it was probably under a bunker somewhere in Washington, D.C., waiting to emerge to the masses. I don't think that was a mass adopted thing at the time. But this is how far you'd have to go back. I mean, I wouldn't be born for another 16 years the last time you saw a tight end performance like that. I cannot get over it. That guy didn't score more than 19 points the entire year in fantasy. And of course, Rico, not only do I play him, but he decides to have quite literally one of, if not the greatest tight end performances we've ever seen. He had 32 points at half. Kirk Cousins throwing the football. That team has nothing to play for. And that's what I was on the wrong side of. I just had to ask you because I didn't know if there was any potential for you to have gotten on the wrong side of that or the right side. Because, of course, there's two sides to the coin here. There's some people, including my buddy, who couldn't be more stoked right now. I went from having a 67% chance to win that game down to a 42% chance. One swoop. We haven't even gotten to the weekend yet, Rico.
No, that's to lose to of all tight ends. Well, I mean, you're not done yet. You're not done yet. You know what I'm saying? So, but to be down 51 points to start, that's brutal. And to all people, it wasn't like you lost it to one of our premium tight ends in the game. It's Kyle Pitts. The guy's been inconsistent his whole career in Atlanta. And then you got Kirk Cousins, the backup quarterback, coming in and just connecting. And it's not like he looked amazing. He didn't. It was just wide open and taking his shots. And now you're down 51 points. Good luck. It's not looking good, buddy. It's not looking good for you right now.
Not looking good. Not looking good. Now, the question is, Rico, will it be looking good for the Buffalo Bills after Sunday? Because this game is huge. If the Bills want any chance of somehow finding a way to win this AFC East, they have to win Sunday. If they don't, the New England Patriots clinch the division. And the reign that the Bills have had on the AFC East will come to a close. And, I don't think we've taken for granted them winning the division as much as they have because, at least for me, they had never come close to winning a division in my lifetime. So I've cherished each and every one. For some of these organizations, Kansas City, their reign just came to an end this year. They had won 9 straight. You get to a point when you get to Super Bowls and win multiple Super Bowls, you really don't give a rip about the division. I really haven't taken for granted winning the division just because of how long it went between me having a team capable of making the playoffs, much less winning the division. So I've always enjoyed it. And I thought that we were going to have the ability to enjoy it a little bit longer here. But you're asking, who's this game? Like, you're saying, who's this game bigger for? Yeah, who needs this game more? Buffalo or New England? And it's unquestionably the Buffalo Bills. The New England Patriots can lose this game and still have a 75-ish% chance to win the division. The Bills lose this game, they have a 0% chance. It's done. New England can lose this one and go on to essentially walk to a division title if things go their way. I mean, we know Miami's playing better. Baltimore won't be the easiest task, but the way they're playing, I don't think I'd put money on Baltimore to beat them, but, it's something. They have to play the Jets again. I think we all know how that's going to go. So they can lose this and still have ample ability to win the division. The Bills, that's it. Now, for New England, the reason why you could argue it's huge for them is they are neck and neck with the Denver Broncos right now for the 1 seed. So if they lose this game, Denver continues to win, their 1 seed chances take a massive blow. But for Buffalo, I think it's big in a variety of different ways, and I think that this is why it means more to Buffalo. Because the Bills are the king of the castle, and in order to beat the king, you got to snatch the crown off of his head. And this would feel like that. Because not only do you snatch the AFC East crown, but you're on the path to getting the 1 seed, and you'll have swept the Buffalo Bills in the regular season. That's not great. I mean, it's just not. When you factor in this is a New England Patriots team that was one of the worst teams in the league a season ago, They've done a complete 180 this year in Mike Vrabel's first season as the head coach. Drake May is now the second betting favorite to win the MVP. In what feels like a flip of a switch here, Rico, the Patriots have gone from a team that you can anticipate getting 2 wins against each year to a team that you can anticipate is going to be in the race for one of the top playoff spots in the AFC for the foreseeable future. This would be a statement win to sweep Buffalo and to secure the AFC East in the middle of December with 3 games remaining. As dominant as Buffalo has been in the AFC East, the Patriots could clinch this division with 3 remaining football games. I want the Bills to make them sweat. I want the Bills to have a fight going down to the wire in this division, whether they win it or lose it. But above all, optically to me, this is why it matters more to Buffalo. I think it's just a horrid look to lose to New England twice in 1 year when that year is their rebound year. It's not like they've had this gap from being bad, had a progression and then got good. They have just catapulted from being bad to being at the top of the league. Are the Bills going to serve as a trampoline for them to jump on towards the top of the league at the end of the year here? I don't want it. Now, Mike Vrabel's 6-0 off of a bye. And this is one thing you got to consider. They're at home this time around. They're off of a bye. The fact that they beat Buffalo the last time is extraordinary when you factor in that the Bills didn't lose at home once last season, and they haven't lost at home since that loss to New England. That was an impressive W. And now they have even more in their favor here, off the bye and in New England. This is a tough task for Buffalo. But look, we look at what the Bills have done as of late. Beat the Chiefs. They're not going to make the playoffs, right? They beat the Tampa Bay Bucks. How bad does Tampa Bay kind of look right now, right?
Oh,
you beat Cincinnati, and it was a great win, an exhilarating win. That team's not making the playoffs. This is essentially this in the Eagles game, but really this game in particular because it's AFC. This is going to be what it's going to look like on your path to the Super Bowl. This game is your last true test, not only for themselves, but for the fan base, to get an idea of what this team is bringing to the table in January. This has a lot on the line in ways beyond just what you can physically obtain, an AFC East hat and T-shirt. There's more on the line here. And even though you could argue that there's more for New England, the ability to regain the AFC East, the ability to cement themselves as the king of this division, there's certainly a lot on the line for them. But I don't want the Bills to relinquish this division this easily. And that's why on Sunday, I think this is as big of a game as the Bills have had all year. And I need them to show up like that is the sentiment. But how are you feeling about it? I mean, do you think it's as big as I feel like it is?
It's definitely a huge game. And I'm going to go the other side because I had this discussion with my man, Thigh Doc, our guy, Thigh Doc, and he agrees with you. He thinks it's the Bills. I'm going to go the other side because I've had more time to think about it. And I think this is a bigger game for the Patriots. And here's why. Nothing to do with the Denver Broncos, everything to do with the Buffalo Bills and who the Bills have been the last 5 years. So this game means more to who? I think it means more to the Patriots. And here's why. The Bills have owned the division the last 5 years. You have a head coach that just came in first year and he's got this thing turned around. Drake May, the second coming of Josh Allen, he's got this thing moving. The first game is being talked about as it was a fluke. So was it a fluke or are we the real deal? And now that you have T-shirt and hats on the line, these guys are coming at home. What a statement it would be to make and say, not only to the league that we are the real deal, but we beat these guys twice. So I don't want to hear any excuses from anybody else. We are back. But if the Bills win, all those wins that the Patriots have gotten this year would be questioned even more. Well, who did you guys play? The only other team that you really played were the Bills, and you beat them by 3 when they gave the ball away 3 times, and now they came into your place and beat you. So how good are you? So they want to shut it all down. They want to shut everybody down and let people know that we are the real deal and we are Super Bowl contenders. The Bills have every right to come in and say, hey, let me put my stake into this situation and slow things down. But the Patriots want nothing to do with it. I think it's really important to them. And furthermore, I think what stands out, and I think you're going to love this. And the Patriots have They're the underdogs at home. They're the underdogs at home. They're at home 11-2, have been on a 10-game win streak, and Vegas has the nerve to say, hey, by the way, we don't believe in y'all, so here come the Bills, and they're favored. That gives a little bit more juice to the Patriots to say, you know what, enough's enough. I'm here, and we're here to make sure that the league is on notice that we are for real, and let's get going. So to me, I think this means a little bit more to the Patriots, more so than it does to the Bills. Does it mean more to both of them? Of course they do, but I think the Patriots have a little bit more something in this, and I think Vegas had something to do with this, with them making the Patriots the underdogs. Your thoughts on the Patriots being underdogs in this big boy?
Yeah, so the Bills Patriots game and the Denver Broncos Green Bay Packers game are two games in which they feature a team on a 10-game win streak at home that is a home dog. The Green Bay Packers are favored against the Broncos. The Bills are favored against the Patriots. Now, Mike Vrabel was asked about this. He downplayed it, but if I'm Mike Vrabel, I'm using this to every extent. I mean, I'm telling the team they don't respect you. You went into their building in week 5 in the whiteout, right? The rivalries uniform. They hadn't lost at home since the French Revolution. You go in there and you beat them. Drake May had a massive game. Signified saying the line flip, not from what I can see. I'm looking right now. I got the best line for the Patriots, plus 1.5. So, I mean, maybe it's flipped in some books, but the majority of the popular public books right now, the Bills are still a 1-point favorite. I mean, regardless, it might flip by the time the game kicks off, but for the duration of the week here, the Bills have been the favorite. And what's done is done. If you go into the game Sunday and the Patriots flip to a 1-point favorite, well, by that time, the sentiment's already been made. Mike Vrabel's already given his speech. The media has already had their field day with this, right? But let's talk about maybe why the Buffalo Bills are favored in this, right?
Talk about it.
And I think it's because even though the New England Patriots are 11-2, there are still questions, right? Drake May is in his second year. Their run defense hasn't been as good the last month. Injuries to the offensive line. So I think whenever there's a new team that emerges towards the top of the pack, there is some skepticism. The Bills have been the leaders in the clubhouse for quite some time right now. And that doesn't just evaporate. And you got to think about what people think about this game. They think about the fact that the East is still on the line. They think about the fact that it's Josh Allen, and that's the key here. Josh Allen is the reason as to why the Bills are favored in this one. That's it, point blank. Now, should the Bills be favored? That's the question. And you could argue no. Maybe the logical argument is no. The Patriots have the better record. The Patriots are atop of the division. The Patriots have already beat them. But I think that this just goes to show you what the public perception is of a Buffalo team going into a game that's a big one, right? Outside of the Chiefs, the Bills, for the most part, they show up and show out in big games. And they've already lost to New England. And this is where my mind goes. I personally, and you know how I am any given week. I mean, I could just have a gut feeling where I'm just not feeling good. I'm not feeling good about the game. Not feeling good about the matchup. This game, one of the reasons why I like Buffalo in this game is because they already lost to this team. I feel like there's a pride element involved here where they simply cannot fathom losing to this team twice in a year. Because I think that signals that there is a changing of the guard. If the Bills could lose to the division, right, Rico? That likely is going to happen, whether the Bills win or lose on Sunday. But I don't think that there's a solidified changing of the guard if the Bills beat them on Sunday. Yes, there's a change in who wins the division. Right. But I don't think that there's a massive change in terms of who maybe the team that gains the most respect is, or the team that is the most feared, right? The Patriots had a borderline last place schedule this year. And I'm not dogging them. They've won 10 straight. They've been phenomenal. Drake May could likely be the MVP. I'm not discounting what they've done. But if the Bills lose this game, Rico, that's an official signal of the changing of the guard to me. You've been swept. They steal the division from you. They get the 1 seed potentially. What more could signal a changing of the guard than that? However, if the Bills go into their place with the division on the line in the 1 seed race being neck and neck with Denver and they beat New England, then I think that we talked about rivalry earlier.
Right.
The rivalry is well and good. It's sparked, it's flaming, ignited, and it could be here to stay.
I could not agree more. So that's why I stood on business saying the Patriots want this, because now you sweep that, you now have a whole offseason to talk about, that now it's not just the Bills division. We regrouped, retooled, and we're back in this. You have 5 years, and this is what the conversation is going to be now. The Bills had 5 years to reign in the AFC and to at least try to steal a championship. I gave y'all 5 years, and y'all couldn't do it. All right, we gave you an opportunity. Now we're back. And now we have a franchise quarterback. Now we have a franchise tackle. I know he's hurt now. We got a franchise tackle. We have a damn good head coach and offensive coordinator. Oh, you're done. We gave you guys a chance. We've retooled, we've regrouped, and we're ready to go. So that's why the Bills should take it mighty personally to not allow these Patriots to come in and try to take reign, right? We allowed this thing to happen for 17 plus years with freaking you-know-who, Tom Brady. We can't allow them to go from Tom Brady to now Drake May. No. We can't allow these guys to be the Green Bay Packers. You go from Favre to freaking Rodgers and now Love. Like, no, we can't go from Tom Brady and then a bit of a lull and then now you got Drake May. We've got to put a silence to that, and it starts this Sunday. Silence them to remind them you're still the little brother, and then if we have to face them again in the playoffs, then we'll just do what we need to do, and that's handle business. But it will not be easy. I can promise you that. It won't be easy. It's going to be one of those situations where you got to buckle up, stay healthy, remain healthy, and try and really just limit your errors. Because that's what the problem has been in the last game that we faced these guys. We did not limit our errors. We were undisciplined. We gave the football away, and those are two things you can't do. And let's not even mention that offensively, we're somewhat limited at the receiver position. We don't have it like that. So to not have it like that at the receiver position, and you're giving the football away, and you're not disciplined, there's a whole lot that plays into effect in this whole situation. So that's why we've got to handle that. We've got to handle that. I think we're going to go in there and do what needs to be done. And I feel that we will get the job done. And that's the way I'm looking at it at this point. So rivalry sparked, yes. Will we put them to bed for a little bit? I think we should and will this upcoming Sunday. But like I said earlier, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a dogfight, and I welcome it. On top of that, isn't it nice to just have like another quarterback in the division? That's like, dude, we gotta really bring our A game, right? We can't just continue to build our defense and build our identity to take one team down, because that's all. Let's keep it a buck here. That's what it's always been. Build this team to take down Kansas City. Well, Kansas City is the least of your worries right now. It's the least of your worries. Now you got to build your team for everybody, right? I know they were in your way. Now you got to build your team for everyone. And right now, the Patriots are forcing us to do that. And we've got an opportunity to take care of business now, and we'll deal with playoffs when the playoffs come. But big game coming. Big game coming.
I love how you find the silver lining in now having an additional competitor in this division. I would rather have it be what it's been for the next 15 years if it were up to me. I mean, I don't need any added competition. I simply do not. You are guaranteed a top 4 seed if you win the division. I mean, right now you're looking at it. I mean, currently you have Tampa Bay and Carolina going neck and neck to win a division that will likely result in a victor having a losing record. That team is going to have a better playoff positioning than the loser of the NFC West, whether that be the Rams or the Seahawks. Think about it like that. Right. Yep. So I would much rather be guaranteed at least one home playoff game and a better playoff positioning for the foreseeable future. But I do see what you're saying. And this was inevitably going to happen. You're watching Kansas City kind of sputter a little bit. You're seeing these other teams take advantage. I mean, who's taking advantage more of their sputtering than the Denver Broncos? They're going to win that division. They play them again this year. I'm sure they'd love to sweep them. They've already beat them once. They're taking advantage, right? Now, I wouldn't say the Bills have slid, at least in comparison to what the Kansas City Chiefs have done. I mean, the way that the Bills are currently primed right now, they could go 13-4, 12-5, whatever. I mean, the Chiefs could potentially finish with a losing record, right? So I think it's more complimentary of what New England has done, despite having a schedule that isn't very threatening, they've taken advantage of that schedule. The Bills, let's be honest, they haven't. The Bills lost to that Falcons team you watched last night that had 20 penalties. 20 penalties. It played some of the sloppy. I cannot believe Tampa Bay lost that game. Up 14 in the fourth quarter. How do you lose that football game with the division on the line? But the Bills lost to that team, and I think Atlanta's won one game since. I mean, I don't know what it was about that Atlanta team, but they saved their best outing of the season for Buffalo, and they haven't looked close to that since. But you lose that game. You lose the Miami Dolphins game, right? I don't think that there's any there's no sorrow I have in losing to this Patriots team because they haven't lost since. They're on a 10-game losing streak. That doesn't really, I mean, it definitely sticks in my craw. You let them come into your building and win. And, you know, the way things are looking right now, Rico, the Bills would still have an opportunity to go back-to-back years without a loss at home to end out the reign of the Ralph. The Patriots ruined that. They would have had the franchise record, and they would have been able to send the Ralph off in a way that you really couldn't have imagined. It's about as good as it could possibly be. But that's a good football team. I still, to this day, even though it's been over a month between these games, the loss to Miami, I still can't get over it. I still can't get over the Atlanta Falcons loss.
Tough one.
And yeah, the Patriots haven't really had those moments. Earlier in the year when they were still trying to figure it out, yeah, they went into that Bills game with 2 losses, but they haven't lost since. So you got to give them credit for taking advantage, right? I mean, they beat the Atlanta Falcons. So I do feel like we look at New England in this game, though, and I think a lot of people do, and they still are saying to themselves, right, this team's got to prove it to me a little bit, right? And I think we feel this way about Denver a little bit, too. At least I do. I look at both of these teams with an 11-2 record, and they don't feel like two teams that I would be willing to put money on to win the Super Bowl. So to me,
you're still not sold on Denver.
I'm not sold on any of these AFC teams. Like I've said all year.
Yep.
If the Broncos went to the Super Bowl, I would not be stunned. But I also wouldn't be stunned if Houston went. I wouldn't be stunned if Jacksonville, who no one's talking about, has the same record as Buffalo. I really wouldn't be all that stunned if they went. Right? Maybe a little more than the others, but still, it wouldn't blow my mind like it would have in previous years. I look at this AFC and it's so wide open that I could make an argument that I would be stunned or wouldn't be stunned on both sides. My whole point here, though, is I'm looking at the Patriots in particular, and you're 11-2, and I still don't feel like I would want to put hard-earned money on you to win the Super Bowl. If you go in and beat Buffalo again, though, then I think I have a perception change.
For sure.
That's where I'm at. And I think that tells me, not that they have something to prove, because they've clearly proven all year long that they are going to be a tough out, but something to prove in the sense that not only are they going to be a tough out, but they are a top-tier contender. And it's not just because you beat the Bills, but it's because you beat them twice. You snatched the division with 3 games left, right? I think that's a statement. I definitely believe in that.
No, you're not wrong with that. That would be a statement, and we've got to make sure that we avoid that 100%. Why I was talking about how I think this game is a lot more important to the Patriots, because they're trying to make a statement. They're trying to let the league know that we're not just this team that won a couple games and we're winning the games that we're supposed to win. We get that part, but you're saying that we haven't played anybody tough. Well, we beat the Bills already. Yeah, but they're trying to get rid of all the buts. They want to make sure they stamp it, like you said, stamp it and cleanly say we are one of the best teams in the AFC. But I'm with you, man, because anybody can get it. The Houston Texans are I wouldn't say shockingly, the Houston Texans are sneakily climbing the ladder to be one of these underdog teams to go ahead and get to the Super Bowl. Here's something for you. I'm not into conspiracies. I really am not. I just don't do it. Okay. But knowing that the Ravens have a great chance to not make the playoffs, the Chiefs are 1 game away from officially being eliminated from the playoffs, right? Joe Burrow is all but done, and the Bengals are out of the playoffs. Josh Allen, the one of the stars of the game, is still available and still in the playoffs. Wouldn't it make sense for the league to just make sure, hey, Pat's not in, Joe's not in, Lamar's not in? But we got to make sure that Josh gets to the game. We got to make sure that the script, we follow the script and get these boys to the Super Bowl. I'm not a conspiracy theory guy, but nobody's trying to see the Denver Broncos and the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. Anybody trying to see
That
that?
game might finish 13-10. I mean, we might get one of those Rams-Patriots rematches from like 2016 or whatever, 2017.
Ain't nobody trying to see Sam Darnold and Bo Nix go out. Nobody's trying to see C.J. Stroud and Matthew Stafford go at it. I'm sorry. Ain't nobody trying to see that. It would be somewhat fun, but ain't nobody trying to see it. They're trying to see Josh Allen at the dance. So conspiracy theories that could be brewing is, at anything that we got to do to get these boys in, we're going to get these boys in. Referees, get it together. Now, would I be mad at it? No. But am I into those conspiracies? No, but it's just a funny scenario to look at because you're looking at all these big dogs that should have been in this playoff hunt, and they're not. And the Bills are in, and you're going up against the Sam Darnolds of the world, the CJ Strouds of the world that are playoff guys, a freaking sunshine out of, like Trevor Lawrence. Ain't nobody trying to see that. They're trying to see Josh Allen, and that's it. So it'll be interesting how the end of the stretch of the season goes down, and we'll see how this goes down. But I'm interested. I don't know if you look at these conspiracies like that. Like, shoot, it doesn't sound too bad to make that thing happen. But who knows? Who knows how this season plays out? It's been wonky since day one. So who knows how it's going to play out? How do you feel about these conspiracy theories, especially this one?
It's funny you bring that up. These conspiracies kill me because I made a TikTok last night about Kirk Cousins getting sacked on that final drive, fumbling, and there was a tie in recovering the fumble, and the tie goes to the offense, even though Tampa Bay came out of the pile with the ball. Because they couldn't determine who fully had it, the ball went to Atlanta. So I made a TikTok about it, and I kid you not, you go over to my TikTok right now, click that video, and go in the comments. There are people currently arguing about the moon landing in my comment section.
Good Lord.
We went from the conspiracy of that game potentially having some sketchy stuff going on to then that evolving into arguing about whether or not the moon landing was fake. So that's what I've been looking at today. It's been killing me. But you know what this reminds me of? And I know you know the graphic. Everybody does. We rewind time to a handful of years ago, and it's the graphic of 4 quarterbacks walking to the Super Bowl stadium. It's Tom Brady, Case Keenum, Blake Bortles, and Nick Foles.
Good
and
Lord.
I think we could have a very similar graphic this year. Would it stun you if the graphic this year was Sam Darnold, Brock Purdy, C.J. Stroud, and Bo Nix? This is where I'm at with this, where I know I said earlier I don't think I could put legitimate money on the Patriots or the Broncos to win it. I don't know if I could put legitimate money on any team in the AFC right now to win it. That's how open it is to me.
And here's the thing. Do you think the powers that be want to see that type of graphic? Heck no. They're going to try to find a way. I can't believe I'm even saying this because this is not how I talk. But I cannot see them not saying, hey, if we're going to make a graphic like that, Josh Allen's got to be in there. I mean, Tom Brady was in that B.
That's true.
Josh Allen's got to be in there. Ain't no way we're not going to, if the refs can make something happen. Listen, I'm going to stop right now because that, to me, that's crazy talk. I might as well get my tinfoil hat and put it on now because that's what it feels like I'm talking like. I need to chill. But it is something to think about because this is a business game. This is about making money, and you ain't going to make no money with Sam Darnold, like you said, Brock Purdy, Trevor Lawrence, right? I mean, C.J. Stroud. Nah,
I'll tell you, the reason why I think it would be fine, I think the Chiefs fatigue is so real that people just want to tune in to watch something else. I really do think that. I think that new blood, regardless of who it is, would generate an audience just because of the Chiefs fatigue. I mean, last year, the fact that we had to endure yet another one of those. And then the thing is, the ass kicking was great. Watching the Chiefs just get rolled was awesome. But by halftime, like, that game was unwatchable. I mean, Kansas City didn't even put up a fight. The game was over. It was just bad. I do think the fatigue is so real that if you ended up getting like a Darnold, C.J. Stroud Super Bowl, I think the mindset might be, hey, we're going to get a new winner this year regardless, and we're going to get a first-time quarterback Super Bowl champion, and because of those reasons, I'm tuning in. I think that's more entertaining to me than if I were to have to watch the Chiefs take on the Eagles again. That's just how I see it.
Okay, so then it brings me to this conversation then, because now I've been seeing this this conversation happen, and you've seen it as well. Maybe you've talked about it, maybe you haven't. Now you're hearing this, well, this has to be the year for Josh. You don't have Lamar, you don't have Joe, you don't have Pat. There's no excuses. That's what you're hearing right now. There are no excuses. Well, here's my thought on this no excuses business. Every year is different. Every year is different. There are circumstances that happen that you cannot control. I mean, take a look at the Bills right now. The Bills keep getting these new injuries pop up out of nowhere where you're like, fam, is this really happening? And like you said, there's a lot of fatigue happening with the Chiefs. We're not trying to see the Chiefs anymore. So do the Bills, and are you in this boat of like, man, the Bills have no excuses, man. You got to bring it down. You ain't got the Chiefs to get in your way. You don't have Lamar, being a thorn in your side. And Joe Burrow, his team can't stay in games. So there's no reason that the Bills can't win this freaking whole thing and get it together. Are you in on this situation? Are you in on that? Are you feel like, yeah, they're right. He doesn't have any excuses. The Bills and Josh Allen have no excuses.
This is the most optimal path the Bills have had to a Super Bowl since Josh Allen has become the quarterback. The caveat is this is not the best Buffalo Bills team that Josh Allen has been the quarterback of during that duration. However, I would argue the pressure's never been higher. Because if you went out in the playoffs and lost to the Chiefs again in the AFC Championship, nobody would be stunned. It would be the 5th time you did it. You've done something 4 consecutive times. Why would anybody be stunned if it happened again? Why would anybody be shocked that it happened again? And why would anybody expect any changes to happen? Because there's been no changes following the previous 4 losses. So why would there be any major switch-ups if that were to happen again? The pressure's never been higher because of what you just said. The pressure has never been higher because there's no Mahomes, because there's no Lamar Jackson, because there's no Joe Burrow. And if you were to look at the playoff picture as it stands right now, nobody has more experience in the AFC than Josh Allen. Yes, Aaron Rodgers. But if a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers with that Steelers team goes the distance and win it, so be it. I will never be more stunned in my life to see a Pittsburgh Steelers team with a 40-year-old Rodgers the way that they've looked this year go in and beat a Rams team or beat a Seahawks team, whoever. And that might not be the case. It could be Lamar. It could be Aaron Rodgers. But if I'm looking at the list of quarterbacks currently in the playoff picture, we have Bo Nix, Trevor Lawrence, C.J. Stroud, a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers, Drake May, Josh Allen, and who am I missing? Oh,
Aaron Rodgers.
I said Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, you did.
So Aaron Rodgers, Drake May, Bo Nix, Trevor Lawrence, C.J. Stroud.
I want to say Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert, who just had hand surgery.
Right.
Who has 1 playoff win in his career, and Josh Allen. There is no excuse this year. You can have an excuse every year. The excuse could be we had the injuries. Ed Oliver couldn't make it back, right? Maybe Bosa continues to get banged up. Maybe Christian Benford continues to get banged up. Spencer Brown continues to get banged up. You can make all the excuses you want. We didn't have any receivers. Our defense was no good. Nobody cares. All anybody's going to care about is the fact that Josh Allen had a path that did not involve having to go through Patrick Mahomes and still couldn't get it done. Now, is it going to be Josh Allen's fault? Likely not, because it usually isn't. But guess who gets the blame? Almost always. Not from Bills fans, but from everybody else. It's Josh. Josh Allen can't win the big one. Josh Allen can't beat Mahomes. Even though statistically Josh Allen's been one of the greatest playoff quarterbacks we've ever seen, we all know the public sentiment does not share an ounce of sympathy with Josh Allen in that regard. They look at it as a quarterback-centric game in which the quarterback gets all the praise or all the blame. There is no excuse here. There's absolutely none, because even though this is not the best version of the Bills, make an argument to me as to which one of these teams in the AFC is good enough to declare themselves superior to the rest. I genuinely think from the 1 seed down to the 7 seed, the margin between these teams is more narrow than not. And if I'm looking at the difference being the quarterback, the most important position of all sports, I got the best quarterback in the AFC playoffs. What's the excuse? There isn't any. And I'll tell you this right now, Rico. The day after a Chiefs loss in the divisional round, that will look like recess compared to a divisional round loss the next day following a loss to Trevor Lawrence, following a loss to C.J. Stroud, regardless of what the defenses do. That's what's going to be talked about. It will look like a walk in the park the next day following a Chiefs loss in the playoffs yet again, compared to what it will look like for McDermott, Allen, and Bean if this team loses in the wild card or the divisional round to one of these teams currently in the playoffs. That's how it looks. So to me, the pressure's never been higher, but how do you feel? Because I want to frame it back to what you were talking about with me. Are you not the same guy that told me it was Super Bowl or bust for Sean McDermott this year? So you got to imagine if the Chiefs are off the table, what the hell is McDermott's excuse? Because that's been his kryptonite his entire time in Buffalo.
I've softened my stance on Super Bowl or bust. I do still feel strongly about it, but I've softened it. Why? We're banged up. Like, how can I judge Sean McDermott and this team and this defense when we don't have our true pieces? So when we do go out there, Josh is never normally the issue. The issue has always been on the defensive side of the football. And here we are back in the same position where this defense has been playing a slight bit better. But once we get to the playoffs, that's who's usually who lets us down. But I'm going to stand on my business and say it. 7 years, 8 years of the same nonsense, it gets old. It does get old. And if you can't get the job done, something's got to give. Now, where I've softened is not necessarily on head coach per se, but more so I'm a lot harder on GM. And right now, I think a lot of national media is starting to now stand back a little bit and look at what the Bills are doing. Because if you look at, it always goes back to Bean and the WGR guys going back and forth. My gosh, is it ever getting louder and louder and louder as we go? Just last week, we had 50% of the passes go to tight ends and running backs. Where the heck are the receivers? This is the problem. That's what's going to ultimately bury the Bills if we don't go all the way to the Super Bowl. So am I wanting this to happen for the Bills? Absolutely. With all the big time quarterbacks out, Chiefs being out, I can't say they're out yet because they're still alive, but there's big time defenses that are going to be in this playoffs. The Denver Broncos have a great defense. Houston Texans, we already faced the Houston Texans. They got a damn good defense, right? The who am I missing here that are in the AFC right now? Obviously the Patriots. Patriots are a top 10 defense. So yes, Josh Allen is superb. And does he have those other teams in his way? No, not necessarily. But we're not, you said it earlier, we're not built well enough to outlast a lot of these teams. So we're gonna need a huge, I guess, a leap from Josh to really put this double cape up for Superman and go from there. But man, when it comes down to, if I look at the totality and I look at head coach, GM, the whole squad, who's in the playoffs right now, who's not, the path is there. It absolutely is. But is it any better than it has been in the past? Not necessarily. Look how we're built. So it's one of those cliche things I'm going to go with. One game at a time. One game at a time. We got to do. I know it's cliche. If it's copping out, I'll take the cop out. But it's one game at a time. The only way we get to this is if Josh turns it up. Joe Brady goes into his bag and goes deep into his bag, and we just get on a heater and we don't stop. It seems as though we're on the way. It seems as though we figured some things out. Defense is still something that does bother me and does shake me a little bit, but one game at a time. This upcoming game against the Patriots, that is a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense, is really going to now allow me to see, okay, so maybe we do have something here. This week is huge. This weekend is massive. I'll have a better picture of where I see this team after this game. That's where I stand right now. So does it a cop-out? Maybe, but I need this. This game is huge for me. I need to see that.
You're talking about one game at a time. Well, the next game up for the Buffalo Bills is this Sunday against the New England Patriots. So let's dive into it. The last time that these Buffalo Bills took on the New England Patriots, it was in Week 5. The Bills were 4-0 at the time. They had that historic home winning streak on the line. They lose 23-20 on a last-second field goal. And in this football game, the Bills turned it over 3 times. Josh Allen was under pressure an insane amount, sacked a bunch. This game had no offense from the Buffalo Bills in the first half. They were able to generate 3 points, and they wound up losing by 3. It was 6-3 at half. They'd go on to lose 23-20. So many things in that football game did not go the Buffalo Bills' way. You had Keon Coleman fumble in their own territory, immediately gave the ball back to the New England Patriots to put points on the board. 13-10 late in the third quarter, Rico. The Bills are down 13-10. At the bare minimum, they'll have the opportunity to tie it. Josh Allen throws a very costly interception. Outside of the mistakes that Buffalo made, the plays made by the New England Patriots were ultimately the difference. A couple of third down plays by Drake May were unbelievable. The play where Drake May is able to get out of that sack and hit Stephon Diggs on the sideline, I still can't get over it. That would lead to a game-winning field goal for the New England Patriots. Speaking of Stephon Diggs, the game he had against Buffalo was bar none the best game he has had in the entire 2025 season. 10 receptions, 146 yards. And when you factor in some of those timely receptions and how crucial they were in the game, he was the ultimate difference maker. Him and Drake May were the reason why these New England Patriots were able to beat the Buffalo Bills in Week 5. Stephon Diggs only has 3 games this season with 105 or 100 yards plus, 146 against Buffalo, only 100-plus yard game since that Buffalo game, and that just came about a month ago against the New York Jets. So in looking at this game, Rico, we go back to Week 5. The Bills lose. Now we're in Week 15. You look at that game, you look at this game. What has to be done differently? What are the keys to victory here on both sides of the ball in order for Buffalo to get their 10th win of the season, keeping their AFC East hopes alive?
You know the simple answer. The simple answer is to be disciplined and not turn the ball over. I hate to be that guy, but that's what it is. That's what allowed, essentially, like you said, for the Patriots to stay in the game. That's what allowed them to stay in the game. We gave them the football back, and not only did we give them the football back to them, we gave them the football back to them in great field position. So no, it's hard to get over that fact, and the fact that they only beat us by what, 3? Was it 23-20? I'll take my chances on these guys doing well, but here's what it has to come down to. Yeah, you can't have Josh Allen lead the team in rushing, because that's exactly what happened last time. We couldn't get our act together. Here's a big thing. Harold Landry right now is dealing with, he's banged up a little bit, but he may play, but he'll be a little banged up. Milton Williams is out. He won't be playing. He's on the injured reserve. Robert Spillane, one of their linebackers, he's questionable to play in this game with an ankle injury. So there's a lot going in our favor in this regard. So, turning the football over is an issue, but we've got to run the football. Josh cannot be our leading rusher in this game. It's got to be James Cook. And I hope that Joe Brady doesn't shy away from that. That's number one. Obviously, you got to run that football, but you can't have Josh lead the way in running the football. Here's another one. Here's a question. Here's a challenge. I challenge one of these freaking receivers on this team to step up and be someone for Josh. Be someone for, you got Keyshawn Boutte out there. You got Kyle Williams on the Patriots. You got Stephon Diggs. You got Hunter Henry that is stepping up and giving. I'm forgetting my barefooted wonder and Mac Hollins. You've got guys that are there that are saying, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to step up for you. We need a receiver that's going to step up for Josh. I'm not talking about my tight ends. I'm not talking about just my running backs. I need a receiver to step up for Josh. At least opens up the offense. If you limit your offense, you're in trouble. You're dead in the water. And that's why these turnovers happen, because Josh started doing a little too much, and then we make errant throws, and here we are. So I say this. In order for us to win this game, it's the discipline. Know where you're supposed to be. Know that the count is on 2. Know that you're not supposed to be holding all that nonsense. Know that you're supposed to run the football and be strong on running the football. Open up your lanes, do what you're supposed to do, and don't turn the ball over. Do not turn the ball over. At the end of the day, that's what it has got to come down to. Last one for me. The X factor in all of this. You know where I'm going with this. Terrell Bernard may be coming back, but right now, you know who's been doing. Shaq Thompson has been leading the way on this defense. It's turned this identity on this defense around. We're a little bit more violent. We're a little bit more like sprinting to the football. There's something different about this defense. So tag in Shaq Thompson into this defense, and now you got a safety that's playing a lot better football. And Cole Bishop, they're a little different. I'm not saying that there's huge differences on this defense, but sometimes it just takes a player or two to step their elevation, elevate their game, and it changes the landmark. It changes the way this game is going to be played. So how do we win this game? Run that damn football. Be disciplined in what you're supposed to be doing. One of the receivers, the challenge is your receivers, step up. Somebody step up for Josh, and the rest should play out the way it's supposed to play. I flip this question to you. What do the Bills need to do? If there's something that I missed, go ahead and jump on there. Or what should we avoid? Another way to look at it. So I'll give the mic back to you.
So the last time these Bills played the Patriots, they lose by 3 in week 5. But throughout the duration of the football game, they did a lot better than the New England Patriots did in many areas. They had more total yards. They had more rushing yards. They had more first downs. They were better on third down. They had less punts. They had a 10-minute time of possession advantage. The difference, the New England Patriots turned it over once. The Bills turned it over 3 times. The interception for Josh Allen, they were right in the red zone, guaranteed points. He throws an interception. The Keon Coleman was at the Bills' 10-yard line, the Keon Coleman fumble. The Bills D stepped up, but the New England Patriots still got a field goal there. They would go on to win by 3 points. The Bills D in this one actually played pretty damn well. The Patriots had 6 points at half. They finished with 23. And the time of possession, or the field position, like you mentioned in this game, they were set up. The New England Patriots were set up field position-wise. But the Buffalo Bills defense in this one, the big reason why we look back on it and think it wasn't a great night was because of what Stephon Diggs did. The Bills have got to mitigate Stephon Diggs' impact in this game. Like I mentioned, the best game he's had all year was against the Bills. That cannot happen again. You're looking at the run game for New England the last time they played each other, and it was pretty much non-existent. The Patriots could not run the ball, and at the end of the game, they weren't really valuing it. They ran it for 71 yards. So you're looking at this being a game where you feel like Drake May is going to have to beat you. The difference is, last game, Drake May did beat you. He was 22 of 30 for 273 yards, and he made a couple of massive plays.
Buffalo Fanatics, what's going on? This is Pierre the Kingpin, and I wanted to talk to you today about Cigars International, which is the ultimate destination for premium homemade cigars. Known as the industry leader, Cigars International offers the largest selection, unbeatable prices, and a customer service experience that's second to none. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned vet, Cigars International makes enjoying cigars easy, approachable, and fun. Cigars International is the go-to retailer for all things cigars, with the biggest selection of premium homemade cigars available anywhere. Cigars International offers unbeatable deals and discounts, making it easy to stock up on your favorite or try something new without breaking the bank. With fast free shipping and their 100% satisfaction guarantee, you can shop with confidence knowing that Cigars International stands behind every order. They have good relationship with vendors that helps provide great low prices. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned pro, Cigars International makes it easy to find the right cigar with helpful guides, staff reviews, and expert advice. It's not just about cigars. Cigars International also offers a wide range of accessories and more to elevate your smoking experience. Check out the great deals every day at cigarsinternational.com. That's cigars, CIGARS, international.com. Use code FANATICS at checkout for 20% off your order of $50 or more, plus free shipping. Or visit www.cigarsinternational.com/fanatics, and the discount will automatically apply. Again, use code FANATICS at checkout for 20% off your order of $50 or more, plus free shipping. Or visit www.cigarsinternational.com/fanatics, and the discount will automatically apply.
Hey, this is Steve Gorman, radio host, sports commentator, former drummer for the Black Crowes. The winter holidays are here, a time for festive celebrations, family gatherings, and ringing in the new year. Whether it's a holiday party, a night out with friends, or just relaxing by the fire with a few drinks, it's a season full of good cheer. But here's something else to add to your holiday plans: a safe and sober ride home. Just like in sports and music, always have a game plan. And the most important part of any plan is sticking to it. If you plan to drink, take that plan a step further. Call a rideshare, a taxi, a sober friend, or have a designated driver lined up before the night begins. Drinking and driving is a decision that can change your life and the lives of others forever. A DUI, a crash, an injury. The consequences are real and lasting. So please, for your sake and for everyone else on the road, make the smart choice. Get a sober ride home. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
The Patriots were only 3 of 9 on third down, but the third down conversions that they had were huge. And it was Drake May making inconceivable plays. I go back to the one he got out of the sack and was able to get that first down. There was another one backed up towards the goal line. Terrell Bernard had a dead-on angle to sack him. Couldn't get him. He hit Stephon Diggs. They moved the chains. The Bills had so many opportunities in this game, and they squandered them. But the last time that they played, the Bills were right on pace with them. And if they were to have just made 1 or 2 less mistakes or 1 or 2 additional plays that were there, but they weren't able to make, like getting a sack on Drake May in one of those plays, then I think that they win the football game. You can't expect to turn the ball over 3 times and win. We said this going into Cincinnati. We thought that whoever won the turnover battle was going to win the game. That's exactly how it wound up going. For the longest time, we thought they were going to lose because we thought they were going to lose the turnover battle. James Cook fumbled into the end zone. At the time, the Cincinnati Bengals hadn't turned it over. It wasn't until late in the fourth quarter that the Bills generated 2 massive turnovers that wound up being one of the biggest reasons as to why they won the football game. You mentioned it. One of the giant keys to this football game, one of the giant keys to the Bills beating the New England Patriots is getting James Cook involved, having James Cook have a solid outing. Last time against the Patriots, 15 carries for 49 yards, just a hair above 3 yards per carry. Here's the difference between week 5, however, and this upcoming week. According to Pat Thorman on Twitter, he put out the Patriots run defense rankings from weeks 1 through 10. Then he put out the Patriots run defense rankings from week 11 till now. Week 1 through 10, the Patriots run defense, 4th in EPA per play, 8th in success rate, 3.6 yards per carry, under 80 yards per game allowed. Since week 11, the Patriots are 23rd in EPA per play, 31st in success rate. They're allowing just under 5 yards per carry. They're allowing just under 124 rush yards per game. Their defense has changed significantly when it comes to stopping the run. Milton Williams being out has been a major factor within that. We know the Buffalo Bills want to run the football, and in 2025, we know the best chance for the Bills to win a football game is if they have their run game going. I think they're going to have an opportunity to get that going far more than they were able to in week 5. Turnovers, you can't have 3 and expect to win. You can't have James Cook sub 50 rushing yards and expect to win. The other thing here, too, is that you have got to be able to close out on third down. It could have cost them last week against the Cincinnati Bengals. They were horrid on third down throughout the duration of the season. The Bills have not been good on third down. It's been one of their biggest Achilles heels, especially third and long. In that Patriots game, the Pats were only 3 of 9 on third down, but it was late in the game. It was big moments that the Bills allowed them to convert. They have got to close out there. The other thing here, too, and you touched on this, and this is where I think you and I differ a little bit. You said that you need a Buffalo Bill receiver to step up in this game. I don't think that that's necessarily going to be a factor because since week 11, the Patriots' run defense has not been good. Additionally, the Patriots are bottom 10 in the league in terms of tight end receptions allowed. Well, guess what happened the last time the Bills played New England? Their X factor, Buffalo's X factor, was Dalton Kincaid. 6 targets, 6 receptions, 108 yards. And my biggest complaint following that Patriots game was that they didn't target him enough. Only 6 targets. And you looked at the other end, Kincaid was killing New England, Diggs was killing Buffalo. The difference was Drake May kept peppering Diggs, and he finished with double-digit receptions. This is yet again, much like Cincinnati, a Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox game where you then mix in a run game that I think will be more successful than the last time these two teams played. Also getting the passing game involved with James Cook, with Ray Davis, with Ty Johnson. I think all of those factors are big. So one last thing I'll add. One last thing.
Yep.
The Patriots are not good in the red zone on both sides of the ball. The Patriots are not good at punching it in offensively in the red zone. They're near the bottom of the league in stopping the opponent from punching it in the red zone. You go back to week 5.
They're actually dead last.
Are they dead last?
73%.
And what do you know, Rico? Last time these two played, the Bills are in the red zone. Chance to take the lead 17-13. Minimum tie at 13-13. Josh Allen throws a pick. You've got to capitalize on your red zone appearances. The Bills were 2 for 4 the last time that these two teams played. They lost by 3. You convert any one of those two red zone appearances into points, this could be a different football game. I do think that there are many avenues for the Bills to get this done. Clean football is going to be the most important.
Clean football is what's going to get it done. We can't. You were talking about turnovers, but the one thing that you kind of glossed over, and I'm surprised you glossed over this, is not only were we giving these guys big shots near the end of the game and allowing these guys to move the sticks, but we're giving up. We were penalized for 11 times for 90 yards. 11 times for 90 yards. And off of those 90 yards, how many of those first downs came from penalties? 3. 3 first downs came from these penalties of us being undisciplined. We can't allow that. Those are the things, those are the little things that just deflate a defense. Now, I'm going to go back and challenge you a little bit. Okay. Yes, we do need these receivers to step their game up, because if I'm a defensive coordinator, and if you're a defensive coordinator, you're a smart guy, I know these guys don't have it. I got Christian Gonzalez on my side. I got a damn good corner, shutdown corner, one of the better corners in this game.
Right.
So if I'm going to take away something from the offense, I'm going to now stack that box a little bit, take away their tight ends. I'm going to force you to beat me with my receivers. This is not good. This is how I would do it. So this is why I challenge the receivers to stretch the field, give something to Josh so we can have a balanced offense going into this game. If you make this an unbalanced offense where they just know what we're doing, we become predictable, game over. We can't have that. Or we're making this game a lot harder, and now you're having Josh to put on another cape to try to do what he's got to do. If the receivers just do their job and just get open for Josh, that's all you got to do. Just get your separation. We're now giving ourselves a chance. But if I'm a defensive coordinator, bro, I know my corners can do the job. I'm taking away the tight ends. I saw what you guys did last week to the Cincinnati Bengals. Although they're not very good defensively, I saw what you guys did. I'm not going to allow that to happen. You're going to have to go deep. You're going to have to do something with your receivers. That's why I challenge the receivers to help out Josh. It's going to be a big one.
To that point, though, against the horrid Cincinnati Bengals pass defense, guess who their leading wide receiver was in the football game? Gabe Davis, 2 receptions for 21 yards. Yet the Bills scored 39 points. Why? Dawson Knox, 93 yards on 6 catches. Dalton Kincaid, 41 yards, 4 receptions, a touchdown. Jackson Hawes, a touchdown.
Yep.
James Cook, 80 yards. James Cook, 31 yards through the air to give him 100 all-purpose yards. What's the equation there? Tight ends plus running back plus Josh Allen equals offensive success. I understand where you're coming from. You don't think I'd love to watch a receiver go and moss Christian Gonzalez in this game? Here's the problem, Rico. It ain't going to happen. It hasn't happened all year long, and I don't anticipate it's going to happen anytime soon. If the Bills need to rely upon getting their balls to their wide receivers, then they're in a world of trouble. If the Bills can't get the ball to the tight ends, the Bills can't run the football, the Bills in all likelihood are losing the football game. So I don't look at this one as a game where the wide receivers need to take over. The Bills had ample opportunity to beat the New England Patriots in Week 5. You go back and look at the stats for wide receivers in that game. Khalil Shakir led the way with 6 for 45, and we know the majority of that came off of yards after catch. He had a catch for 18 yards. That was a majority coming off after the catch. The Bills really do not win football games where they are targeting their wide receivers exclusively. They need tight end production. They need James Cook to go off. They also need Josh Allen to play in clean football. I get where you're coming from because you want to see a Coleman, a Davis, a Palmer, hell, anybody, Shavers, who gives a damn who it is. You want to see a receiver step up. The problem is, Rico, we've wanted to see a receiver step up each and every week this season, and it's been very few and far between since we've seen it. I'm looking at the most opportune ways for the Bills to win, going deep to the receivers, going after the receivers, going after one of the better corner duos in the game. That's not one of them. Tight ends, running back, clean football. That's how you win on the offensive side of things here.
And you know what? I'm not going to disagree with you because that you're right. It's like it doesn't have to just solely be on that. It's got to be using what is your strength, and that's how we're going to have to win this. I'm going to go flip it on the defensive side of the ball now. There are some guys that are missing, some key components missing for the Patriots offense, and that's left tackle Campbell. He's out. So you would think that Joey Bosa, a healthy Joey Bosa, had a week off, fresh legs, should be impactful in this game. Lord knows we need a pass rush. We certainly didn't have one last week. We had to formulate pressure off of bringing a corner off the edge. So hopefully this pass rush allows us to kind of control the line of scrimmage, because that's where the game is won and lost, in the line of scrimmage. So seeing Joey Bosa back on the field is great. Greg Rousseau is going to continue to do what he does. Hopefully we get a game out of Greg Rousseau. When I say a game, I'm talking about a game where he comes after the quarterback and he's creating pressure, he's generating pressure, and we're getting after it. But at the end of the day, how to limit these Drake May-led Patriots is to win in the trenches. And I think we have the advantage a little bit with their backup tackle being in there, and even then he's banged up, their backup tackle. So we should be able to kind of move the football and move them around on the trenches. Deion Walker getting a lot of time on the field now. He's got some experience now, so we should see some good things happening. So, and Shaq Thompson being in the middle of that defense certainly gives us a boost in this. So I'm looking forward to it. Now, I want to flip this a little bit. You saw it. I saw it. Christian Benford in a boot.
Yep.
I can't tell you how frustrated I am that he's now questionable for the game, and he may not even play in this game. You saw him hobbling around in footage online. When you start seeing these things happen, you see these injuries happen, and then in the middle of the week at that, what are your sentiments when you see, oh, here we go, Benford's out, or could be out, or he's questionable with a boot? What are you thinking at this point?
What kills me about these injuries is, why do they always seem to happen after a player just goes off or seems to be having, like, going on a run here? You look
Absolutely.
at what Ed Oliver was doing right before he got hurt. You know, Joey Bosa was basically the last line of defense on that defense before he got hurt. We're glad that obviously that's not a serious injury. But Christian Benford is coming off the two best games of his season. You don't beat the Cincinnati Bengals without Christian Benford. And he flipped the game by picking that ball up off the ground and going into the end zone against the Steelers. Christian Benford, I don't know if you've seen his PFF numbers, but he is the best in the business when it comes to a couple of major categories on the Bills on the defensive side of things. Christian Benford right now is the second best cornerback in the league according to PFF in terms of pass rushing. He is the best cornerback in the entire NFL when it comes to defending the run. So he has been pivotal. The beginning of the year, a lot of questions surrounding Benford. Gets the contract extension, not looking all that great, not looking like he's living up to it. He has, in the back half of the season, been one of, if not the most dependable and best player on the Bills' defensive side of things. He's coming off of his two best games. He's coming off of his best game. You look at the grades for Benford on PFF in that Bengals game, by the way, 90 overall grade. I think he had a 99 overall pass rush grade. He had a massive sack before the half that kept the Bengals from putting even more points on the board. We know he had the pick six. He's so pivotal. These injuries happening not in the game, but in practice too, that's what just makes you sick, because you're not anticipating this. You see a guy go down on the broadcast in the game. Oh, all right, well, you see it, and, you know, it's in a game. You're going 100% all out, and what can you do? It's a brutal sport. Every team's banged up, and the Bills are certainly no exception. But you're looking at a Thursday practice, and all of a sudden the guy's he's in a walking shoe, or he's in one of those surgical shoes, and it's a left toe injury. How many players this season for the Bills have gotten hurt in practice? And I don't know. Once again, everybody's always looking for somebody to blame with these. I don't think you can really blame anybody. Everybody wants to blame the training staff or whatever. To me, it's just fluke. It's fluky. You know, I watched the Indiana Hoosiers who win the Big Ten championship last week. They're the number one seed in the college football playoffs. I watched one of their starting players after the game. He was running around the stadium giving high fives to the crowd. He blew out his leg walking around the crowd. You know, you go back to the Super Bowl. Who was it for the Niners walking off the sideline that tore his ACL walking back into the game? It just feels like the Bills, for whatever reason, have a horrid run of luck here, because these are practice-induced injuries. And for Christian Benford to be out in this one is just so big, Rico, because he's been playing some of his best ball of his career. They've been relying on him to really alter and win football games. The fact that he gets hurt late in the week, and let's be honest, McDermott says today they don't know if he's going to play. He doesn't practice on Friday. What are the odds he plays? 5%? I don't see him going out there without practicing on Friday, getting hurt this late in the week. Do you?
I certainly do not see him playing, and especially because they said it wasn't a matter of somebody stepping on his toe. Because someone stepping on your toe, okay, it's bruised. You can kind of get over it, ice it up, and away we go. This was not it. This was a sprain. And when you have a sprained toe, especially you're a DB, where you're constantly your back pedal, you got to plant, you got to go. That's a lot of pressure on that toe to get going. So I can't see him playing. And if he does, he'd be a liability. So that in that case, I'm to the point with these injuries, stop practices all day. You are now going to invest in virtual reality headsets, put them on, and we're practicing that way. We're watching film that way. We're practicing that way. I've had enough. You got Ed Oliver going down, and him having that toe injury had him sidelined for 3 weeks. So who knows how long Christian Benford is going to be sidelined. Enough is enough already. As a head coach, I would be frustrated. I'm sure Coach McDermott is sitting here like, I got none, bro. I got none. It's not on the training staff. It's just these fluke things happening. So if y'all can't take care of yourselves, virtual reality headsets, sit your butt down in a classroom, and that's how we're practicing. That way I can absolutely control who's going to be hurt and who's not, because this is getting out of hand. The guy that we need that has been showing that he's back is now potentially sidelined. So now we're going out with a much better playing Trey White and a rookie cornerback in Max Hairston. I'm not saying that Max Hairston is going to be a liability, but he's also a rookie. And Vrabel on the other side will take full advantage of having someone that is inexperienced. That guy is too good a coach, and he's smart. You have Josh McDaniels. That's a smart individual as well. They will take full advantage of that. So these are the times that we need these guys to be here, but they're not. This is the game, though. You play to win the game, and you got to be ready for the next guy up. That's where we're sitting at right now. But golly, I'm frustrated when it comes to this team just getting nicked up in practice. Out of all places to get nicked up, you're getting nicked up in practice. So be it. It is what it is, but golly, is it ever frustrating.
Silver lining on the injury front, though, Christian Benford, it's not looking good. That's a huge blow. However, it looks like Cole Bishop, good to go. Joey Bosa, good to go. Spencer Brown, good to go. Dalton Kincaid, not wearing that full bulky brace like he was wearing last week. He'll be fully ready to go. He was obviously limited in some capacity against Cincinnati because Dawson Knox was the primary target. Josh Palmer should be good to go. You go and look at the Bills' injury report right now. It looks to be about half as long of a list as it was a couple of weeks ago. So that is encouraging. Terrell Bernard was limited, but you mentioned Terrell Bernard limited, yes, but you're loving what you're seeing from Shaq Thompson. And speaking of Shaq Thompson, you go back to that Patriots game, the Bills fumble the football on that god-awful end around to Dawson Knox. Who could forget? But don't forget, the very next play, Shaq Thompson with a Peanut Tillman punch-out to get the ball immediately back. So, I'm looking at the injury to Bernard, and I think many people are thinking right now, well, hey, Shaq Thompson's playing some pretty good balls. So I will say, as much of a bummer as it is to not have Benford, and it certainly is, Bills are getting healthier right now, and there's no better time to be getting healthier than mid-December.
I'm going to say this. Although Christian Benford could be someone that doesn't play, I don't care what anybody tells me. I think that this defense has improved. I don't care who we play. We play one of the better offenses in the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's cut it out. We know exactly what's taking place. And we came in and had a great defensive game plan. Obviously, some great plays happened by Christian Benford that flipped this whole game around. But the addition of Shaq Thompson allows others to be in great position to make their plays, right? We're not getting gashed by the run, so it allows these teams to get back into second and longs and third and longs and having to throw the football. The emergence of Cole Bishop has done difference, huge difference. Jordan Poyer, what an addition Jordan Poyer has been. This is something that I did not anticipate, of Jordan Poyer being a difference in this defense. Him alongside Cole Bishop, they've formed a very, very good back end on the defensive side of the ball. And now it's just our DBs being in the right position. But it all starts with defending the run, and Shaq Thompson, in addition, gives us a best opportunity for doing that. So I love seeing that. And listen, man, I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to this game. I want to see where we measure up, right? We measure up by playing one of the better teams in this league. So now it shuts down the Patriots. It allows us to get back to where we want to be. Confidence builds up, and we can go on a run. Doesn't mean that the rest of the schedule is going to be a cupcake, because we got some tough ones down the line. But a loss to the Patriots keeps this AFC division title still in grasp. So I'm looking forward to that.
I'll tell you what, there's also something else on the line in this game, and I think us fans don't care about it as much now because there was one secured a season ago. But the current leaders in the clubhouse for the MVP this season are Matthew Stafford and Drake May. If Josh Allen can go into New England and outduel Drake May noticeably, and the Bills win, and then the Rams go against the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle on Thursday Night Football, Sam Darnold outplays Stafford, the Seahawks beat the Rams to take over control of the NFC West. Don't be surprised if Josh Allen's at the top of the betting market for the MVP yet again. I think that it would take the Bills winning the division for him to get it, because that would mean that they won out, and that would obviously mean that Josh Allen balled out. But there doesn't seem to be a stranglehold on that award. I think if the season ended today, it is unarguably Matt Stafford's, but we know that nothing matters more for that award than the performance in late November, December, going into January. And you have an opportunity for Matt Stafford to lose to an NFC West opponent to knock him down into second place in that division. You also have Drake May with an opportunity here to lose to Josh Allen. And I don't think it would be shocking if Josh Allen has a monster performance following up what he did, by the way, against Cincinnati. That's fresh in everybody's mind as well. I would not be stunned if all of a sudden we're sitting here next Friday and Josh Allen's going into that Cleveland Browns game with people talking about him being significantly in the running to win the MVP. Josh won one. We all know the legacy of Josh Allen. We all know the player that he is. And I was so happy that he got at least one MVP to be able to signify what he's been to this organization. That's why it always mattered to me. And everybody always said, oh, it's not a Super Bowl. Yeah, I appreciate it. Hey, thank you so much for telling me. I had no clue. And now that you told me, I couldn't, I'm a smarter man because of it. I really appreciate you informing me. However, with Josh Allen winning that MVP, you can never take it away from him, and it will always be a symbol of the greatness that he displayed during his time in Buffalo. But man, wouldn't you just love to see him win it again? And not that we really give a damn. We have bigger things to do now. I understand now that he's won one. But man, I wouldn't mind seeing him get back into it, because that means the Bills are doing something right.
And you know what? They are going to be doing something right, because I'll tell you right now, earlier this offseason, I said, you know what? How is it that Josh can come in and win an MVP? And I said, well, the only way I think he's got the path to winning the MVP is if he beats Joe Burrow, check. Beats Pat Mahomes, check. Beats Lamar Jackson, check. He's beaten all three guys this year, and he is absolutely in line and in running to win the MVP. Furthermore, he can become the first player in NFL history to reach 300 touchdowns? 300 touchdowns before the age of 30. I believe he's four touchdowns away from doing that. This could be the game that solidifies him on winning this MVP. And if he continues to keep that up, man, oh man, it would be nice to have a second MVP for my guy, Josh Allen. But one game at a time, that's how you got to do it. But you said it. This game alone is important, because now it takes care of Drake May, which is also in the running. And then you've got Matthew Stafford, that's also in the running, that if he takes an L or doesn't play as well this weekend, that props up Josh Allen to where he's at. On top of him breaking a record that's never been done in the NFL, that would be absolutely epic. So, yes, I'm all for Josh Allen getting that MVP, and this weekend could absolutely solidify it and actually keep him there. And as long as he does what Josh Allen does for the rest of the season and continues to win out, I can't see him not getting that second MVP. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
Alex Mason saying, y'all delusional. Listen, I understand it. I understand thinking we're delusional for thinking this. I'm not saying he's going to win it. I'm saying do not be surprised if he beats Drake May, the second betting favorite to win the MVP. Do not be surprised if Matt Stafford loses to Sam Darnold to lose control of that division. Do not be surprised if Josh Allen's right back into the conversation. here's the thing I don't think people realize all that much when it comes to this award. The recency bias baked into this award is insane. What you do in September and October is almost non-existent. So long as you were a decent player during those 2 months, whatever you do in November and December is ultimately going to be what wins you the award. So long as you didn't have a 3-to-1 interception to touchdown ratio, what you do in November and December is ultimately going to be the deciding factor into who wins this award. So I'm not saying he's going to win it. I'm saying there is a plausible path to him being back into the conversation within this week. Whether he wins it or not is one thing. And I'll be honest, like I just said, Matt Stafford to me is the MVP right now. He's the quarterback of the best team in the NFL in the LA Rams, and he's playing phenomenal. Devontae Adams has completely revitalized his career. Puka Nacua right now throughout his career, Matt Stafford's thrown him the ball his entire career. Do you know Puka Nacua, over the duration of his career, is averaging the most yards per game at the wide receiver position in NFL history? Matt Stafford's one of the most underrated quarterbacks to ever play. And this year, he came into the season with a back injury that people thought was going to have him sidelined. And when it didn't sideline him, people thought the Rams were going to suck because they thought Matt Stafford just wasn't going to have it. That dude's playing some of the best football in the league, maybe the best. But I'm just saying, what you do in December matters a hell of a lot more than what you did a month or two ago. It could drastically change over the next couple of weeks.
Well, why are we delusional for you making a statement that is very possible? If Josh Allen has a game, he can propel himself to being on top of there. And let's not forget, you got Matthew Stafford with Sean McVay, an offensive genius. And you've got Puka and you got Devontae Adams. Are you kidding me? Yes, he's in the running. But if Josh Allen can say, hey, I don't have any of those things, he might win it for the sole reason of having the same situation he had last year. I don't have the weapons, but guess what? I'm still here. I'm still handling business, and I'm about to take down these Patriots that are big bad at 11-2. He has every opportunity to get this. There's 3 games left in this. After this, obviously after this game, bro, Josh has every opportunity to get that MVP for sure. So delusional, I don't see it. I think it's reality. I absolutely think it's reality. But listen, I'll give you. Stafford is having a phenomenal year, no question about it. But godly, he's got himself a solid advantage, great advantage.
I think we know where Alex's allegiance lies. He's a Patriots fan. He's saying y'all acting like the Patriots are still 4-12 or something. No, we are not. What is with some of you guys thinking that?
I don't get it.
How much respect have I given New England? I quite literally just said if they beat Buffalo on Sunday, it's a complete changing of the guard moment in the AFC.
They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that.
I'm just telling you what the recency bias does to this award. And it comes down to head-to-heads a ton. I mean, even last year when we were looking at the Ravens Bills situation, Lamar and Josh Allen, right? It came down to so many little things.
It did.
So many little things. This is what it comes down to. And one of the little things will be, well, hey, in December with the division on the line, Josh Allen went into New England and beat Drake May head-to-head. I mean, that's just the way it goes. Now, do I think, and this is my argument on Josh Allen all the time, and you can make this argument for Mahomes, not this year, and you can make this argument for Lamar, not this year. But Josh Allen, the point still remains. There's a LeBron James element to where you could make an argument that man is the MVP every single season solely for the fact that if you were to remove that man from the team, that team would be completely unrecognizable. There are other teams in the league where they have terrific quarterbacks, but would still be playoff teams with other quarterbacks. The Buffalo Bills would not be sniffing the playoffs without Josh Allen. If that doesn't mean most valuable, I don't know what does. Not to say that he is the MVP, but it's to say that any given year, with Josh Allen at quarterback playing like he has the last several seasons, there will always be an argument as to why he is the MVP because of that reason.
Matthew Stafford and the Rams host the Detroit Lions they're on a mission right now. And
that's another good point, by the way. If Goff outduels Stafford in that one, plus that Thursday night game, Rico.
Okay, so there's one. And then if he outduels, if he gets outdueled by Sam Darnold in Seattle, and the Bills continue to mount. So when Alex is saying, hey, y'all are delusional, are we? No, not at all. This is why the NFL schedules are built the way they're built these last few, because we start to see guys separate themselves from being really good quarterbacks or really good players to NFL MVP type. And Josh already has done it, and he's on his way to potentially doing it again. So, Bro, hold on to your horses, big fella.
And there's one more
Hold on to
factor
your
to
horses.
add in. One more factor to add in. Week 17, the Bills play the Philadelphia Eagles at home, 4:25 p.m. Eastern. It's the only late afternoon game of the day. There's no other games in that window. Josh Allen goes and balls against that Philly defense in that game. I'm just telling you, the plausibility behind what I'm talking about. Not to say it happened. I'm just saying you're crazy if you don't think that there is a path for Josh Allen to win another MVP this year.
The path is absolutely there. That's why the NFL builds it that way. Hey, you took down Burrow. Like I said, Pat, Burrow, Lamar. You take down the Eagles, the big bad Eagles. Fam, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? You know what we're talking about? MVP. Shout out to my guy, Maybach Mel. What up, Mel? What up, Mel?
Maybach Sports giving a little love from the Patriots side of things. I love it. Shout out
Maybach.
Guy,
Maybach. Maybach is a good dude, man. He's fair down the middle. We chat it up all the time. We chop it up. And he's absolutely excited for this Patriots game. And he knows what it is, man. He knows that this is a tough one. This is a big one. And they got everything to prove. He doesn't believe that we are delusional, though, because he knows that we have a good squad. But he does truly believe that his team is destined for big things. So, I mean, this is going to settle a lot of things for now because we're going to face each other again in the playoffs, I'm sure. So that'll be nice. That'll be something.
Let's get to a couple of super chats here. Richie Fresh, our main man. What up, Richie? He's stopping by to say, the division is not unrealistic. We beat the Pats. Pats lose to Ravens, and both us have the same record and a 4-2 division record. We win the division. Not unreasonable considering what we did to the Finns 2 years ago. Strap in, go Bills. Now, Richie, I do believe the Patriots have to lose an additional divisional game outside of the Bills game in order for the Bills to win
and it's possible.
The division. Because the Patriots have not, I don't think the Patriots have lost a division game. They beat Miami already. They beat the Jets already, and they play both of them again, and they beat Buffalo. So, Rich, I think you're a little mistaken on that. They will not have a 4-2 record. If the Patriots lose to the Bills on Sunday, that'll be their first divisional loss. So that means they'd have to lose to either the Miami Dolphins or the New York Jets. However, I hate to say it, but the Miami Dolphins have been playing some of the best football in the league the last month. They haven't lost since firing their GM, and their first win in that stretch was over the Bills in dominant fashion. The last time the Miami Dolphins played the New England Patriots, it came down to a kick return for New England to win it. Now, I'm not saying New England isn't the better team. They should beat Miami. But we also thought the Bills, when they were nearly a 10-point favorite on the road against Miami the last time they played, should have waxed them too, and they wound up getting doubled up. So, not out of the cards for sure. However, to your point, Richie, if Miami or if Baltimore were to beat the Patriots and then they lose another one, God willing, and then Denver drops a couple, right? They play Kansas City or whatever. You want to get into delusion territory. I'll get into delusion territory. That one seed starts to look pretty tasty. And you want to talk about delusional territory, we can dive into delusion because I could see this insane world. I couldn't see it because I'm not that lucky. By the way, this is not how my life goes. But in an alternate reality, there could be a world where you see Denver drop a couple, you see New England drop a couple, including this one to Buffalo, and all of a sudden the Bills are a win over the Jets and Browns with a massive win over the Eagles away from potentially flipping this season on its head. Could you imagine that, Rico?
Well, hold on. Have you seen who the Broncos have?
Lay it out for me.
Listen, the Broncos. People think the Broncos just have a sweet path to victory. Let me just pull that up for you guys to understand.
You're telling me they think it's sweet over there in Denver?
No, it's not. It certainly is not right now. I'll tell you who the Denver Broncos are going to be facing, my man, because they've got a tough little path themselves. Give me a moment here while I pull this sucker up for you boys, so you can see what these Broncos are dealing with. So the Broncos, where the heck I just had this thing pulled up. Where are Broncos at, for crying out loud? Oh, for crying out loud. Here we go. All right. Give me a moment here. Uno momento, my peoples. I can pull that sucker up.
As you're pulling that up, Rico, by the way, I'm looking over here, and I'm seeing Mama Bell and Zoe Bell getting ready for their big Christmas pajama party. Oh, my gosh. Look at these two women. Can you believe this? Look at the matching pajamas. Zoe's going to her first party.
Look at
month
that.
Old today. Zoe Jane, a month old today, and she's going to go celebrate. Isn't that right, baby?
Look
She's
at
very
that.
full.
Look at that. Well, let me feed you what these Broncos are facing this last stretch. So the Broncos coming off a 24-17 win over the Raiders. Then they go to the Packers. They host the Packers. Then they face the Jaguars. Then they face the Chiefs. Then they face the Chargers.
Timeout,
exactly. Listen, it's not the way they don't. It's not so.
Why don't you go ahead and pull off that playoff simulator for me real quick?
Ooh, with pleasure, my good man. With pleasure. Let me mess around.
I mean, we saw the word delusion thrown in there. Let's get a little delusional. I like getting a little delusional in December.
Let's get delusional. Let me pull that sucker up.
A little December delusion. Let's paint the path here with a couple of Denver losses and a couple of New England falters.
Let me zoom in my page so it's very visible so people can see here. Let me share the old screen so you guys can see what's happening here. See the old playoff machine, huh?
By the way, we are Augustin coming and saying, Z-Bot, God bless you and your family. It's an honor to have met you on this channel. Continue doing great things, man. We say it all the time, Rico, but maybe we don't say it enough. I mean, the love is just, we never know what to say. You guys are the best.
No, there's no question about that. All right, here we go. Week 15. We can see it right now. Denver's got the number 1 spot as of right now. Texans 7th. You got the Patriots, the 2nd seed. We got the Bills. If the playoffs were to start today, we would be facing the Jaguars on the road, and then the Chargers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, here we go. We just found out the Atlanta Falcons just took the breath out of the Tampa Bay Bucks last night. My gosh, that shouldn't have happened. So, I mean, I think it's safe to say that the Bills should be able to go on the road and not allow the Patriots to have a T-shirt and hats game. So I'll take the win for the Bills. Ravens, Bengals.
Cincy,
now,
they destroyed them the last time. Baltimore's not playing well.
So you want to go Cincy, even with the much depressed looking Joe Burrow, and we got to talk about that in just a moment. But anyway, we got the Bengals taking on the Ravens, and since the Ravens aren't playing good football right now, we'll say the Bengals win this one. Yep. Jets, Jaguars. I mean,
Jags.
The way things are going around, the Jaguars should take this. Here's a big one right here, because technically, the Chiefs aren't done.
Nope.
I say the Chiefs win this one.
Yes.
I'm picking the Chiefs.
I agree with you.
I'm picking the Texans.
I agree with you.
What do we
skip the NFC games? Here? Just skip the NFC games.
All right. Well, here we go. So we've got. Are we still counting these boys in here or what?
Old Man Rivers. We'll talk about that in a second.
We'll talk about that because I have that on the docket here.
Oh my God.
Broncos, Green Bay. Listen, Green Bay's on a heater right now.
Yeah.
Bo Nix has not been playing well. Micah Parsons is coming to town.
Give me Green Bay.
Give me Green Bay. I'm taking that. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? And
give me Miami
right here. Without a shadow of a doubt. Here we go. If the playoffs were to start,
so nothing would change.
Seed. Nothing changes. We see the way things are going. If the Patriots win this one, the Bills go to the 7th seed. We'd be facing the Denver Broncos. Let's just say the Denver Broncos. Do we have the Denver Broncos win their matchup?
No, we had them losing. They'd be the 1 seed.
So let's go. Should we go to the next week?
Yeah, but give the Bills the win over the New England so we keep it. Yep. All right, go to week 16.
Right. So this is what it looks like right now. If things were play out, let's just skip over to next week for now. So now we've got the old Jets. Who cares? I mean, listen.
Wait, go back to week 15. Never mind. You got it right. Never mind. So go ahead.
As much as I respect the Browns,
you got a lot of respect for Cleveland, huh?
Yeah. KC. Ooh, you know what?
Dallas.
You know what? What do you think?
I don't trust the Chargers. Did you watch them against Philly? I don't even know.
I don't trust them either.
It took 5 picks to beat Philly in overtime.
I think the Dallas Cowboys are one of the dangerous teams in the NFC.
I agree.
Call it what you want to call it. I think they're pretty dangerous. Who cares? Who cares? Here's one right here.
Cincy.
Give me all right. Cincy's on a roll.
Now, I mean, this is a huge, huge game.
So Broncos at home. Broncos at home in this case. Give me the Broncos because they're home.
Okay.
Because they're home. We can circle back. Texans.
Yep. Lions.
And
now
we can mess around with this one here.
Just say New England for now.
Nothing, not a whole lot changes.
And then
So
and
this
then
is
give
what
the
we need to start-
Niners a win. Give the Niners a win over the Colts right there. Yep. Okay. Week 17.
So this is what we're looking at right now.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Okay. Chiefs. By the way, I think the Chiefs. What we're doing here is going to have the Chiefs make the postseason. By the way, the way
That's
we're
exactly
going
what's
here.
going to. I was just about to mention that. That's exactly what's going to take place. So, and then you got Texans being the Chargers. You know exactly what's going to take place here. But anyway, let's keep it rolling. Green Bay.
Yep. Pittsburgh.
You got Pitt. You got Pitt over here. I feel an upset
Yeah.
brewing there. But anyway,
All right, whatever you want. Yeah.
well,
New England.
Hold on. You say New England?
No, so we're going to give New England the loss to Miami week 18. That's what we're going to do. So
Okay.
give
so
them
that's
give
what
the
we'll do here.
Patriots the win.
Yep.
Yeah.
We got. I'll take the Jags.
Jacksonville.
I'll take. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
I'll take the Bengals. Not that it matters. And we'll take
Bills.
the Bills over the Eagles.
Doesn't matter. Okay, go to week 18.
All right, here we go. Here comes the Lulu.
Yeah.
All right, Broncos. See what I'm talking about? Broncos hosting the Chargers.
So now we need to give Denver an additional loss. So give the Chargers the win.
If you give Chargers the win,
Then give Kansas City a win.
City the win,
Miami the win.
Dolphins the win,
And
you
then
got
whoever.
What does it matter?
They're fighting for the 4th seed. Winner of that will get the 4th seed. Yep.
So
Give
we'll
me
come back to
Houston
that.
over Indy.
Yep. We got the Jags over these boys.
Yeah. And then do the Bills over the Jets and watch.
He goes and watch. So
And that also keeps Kansas City out because the Chargers beat Denver. Now click Denver. If Denver wins that game, just hypothetically, go top left.
I gotta get this laugh out real quick. So Denver wins it. It
The Bills
doesn't
would
matter.
still be
Kansas
the 1
City's in.
seed. Yes, but Kansas City's in.
KC's in, and then you let these two boys battle it out. We wait it out, and then that doesn't matter.
Hold on. So I just want to check something. Give the Patriots a win over Miami.
Where did I see that?
Top middle. Yep. But then go back to week 16 and then give Baltimore the win. Yeah. So New England would need to lose to either the Jets or the Dolphins.
I can't see them. I mean, I could see one of them, one loss. I can see one loss. So if I go back to week 18.
So give them,
18,
go week 18. You got to give Miami the win, and the Bills will be the 1 seed.
So there's the path, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, would you trade? Here's the question. Would you trade getting the 1 seed for the Kansas City Chiefs getting in as the 7? Because if they beat Denver, that's who the Bills play in the divisional round. Kansas City.
I'll take the first.
Wow.
I could give a rat's A about the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, if I could care less. Give me the number 1 seed. We're home. Let these boys battle it out. If the Chiefs are supposed to be the Chiefs that we think they are, then they lose.
Now let's see what happens if Denver's the 1 seed, but the Bills get the division.
Houston takes on New England. They beat New England. I mean, who knows about that, right? And now we got ourselves something.
So the ideal path would be Denver beats KC, Houston beats New England. Then you have the Steelers beat the Jags somehow, so the Bills get the Steelers at home in the divisional to go to the AFC Championship. The AFC Championship would be either the Denver Broncos or the Houston Texans, one of the 2 best defenses in the league. But that's what
Let them battle it out.
Now, let me take a look at what the Bills' situation would look like if Denver were to get the 1 seed, but the Bills win the East. So go back and give Denver another win.
Where did I have Denver losing?
Go to week 17.
Was it 17 that we did it?
And give Denver the win over KC, just for the hell of it.
Okay, there's Denver.
Now go down.
Denver with the 1 seed.
So it would be Bills, Chargers, Bills the 2 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, imagine the Chargers coming to Buffalo in December. They ain't winning that game.
No way. Justin Herbert, I like you. I don't like you that much.
They're not winning. It's going to be
that.
5 degrees. They're not, no chance.
And then if anything, then we take on, I guess, one of these boys here. Listen, man. Win it out. Win it out. That's it. And then you mean if the chips will fall where they need to fall. The chips will fall where they need to fall, and we go from there.
I'm glad we show that because they're delusion, but a delusional path nonetheless. Richie's coming back in. If the Chiefs miss, there's zero excuse not to go all the way. No disrespect to other teams, but if that doesn't occur, I feel we won't get there. And we talked about that earlier, Richie. I mean, it just feels like the pressure is sizably on Buffalo if the Chiefs wind up not making the playoffs, and right now they have a 13% chance to do so. Richie's also saying Rams-Bills Super Bowl rematch from that high-scoring game a year ago. Dude, America needs a Bills-Rams Super Bowl.
McDermott, McVay, just high-scoring offense. I mean, listen, the on paper what it was then is certainly not what it is now. However, it'd be something.
Would be, I think the ratings for that game would shock you how amazing they'd be.
Yeah.
Signified, not ever missing an opportunity to dunk all over the Baltimore Ravens. He's saying these scumbags in Baltimore would be nothing or would be frothing at the mouth if Josh won another MVP. Could you imagine? Lamar, down year, Ravens miss the playoffs, and Josh Allen wins another MVP. It would be pandemonium in Baltimore, Rico. It would not be good. There. Dan Brown. What's up, guys? Just showing some love. Honestly, I was more afraid of the Bengals than I am the Pats. Gonna be a great game. I mean, I was certainly a bit fearful of the Bengals as well, and for all the reasons that wound up panning out, I did not expect the Bills to pick off Joe Burrow twice, and that's what was the difference.
Kudos to Bobby Babich on a decent game, a good game plan put. They absolutely took away, obviously, Jamar Chase. They had a safety over top at all times. Burrow did not want to take chances. And when he took a chance elsewhere, gave that to me. So, I mean, we're fortunate to be in the position that we were in. But, boy, I'm with Dan, man. I think I feel a lot different going into this matchup than when we were going up against the Bengals. I agreed.
Get that air horn ready, Rico, because not only is Dan Brown stopping in with a super chat, he's stopping in with a membership as well. Welcome to the Bing Squad, Dan. Appreciate you, my friend. Thanks so much for the support. Alex is coming in. He was the one who first gave us the term delusion tonight, so we appreciate you getting us down the path towards the 1 seed there. Love it. Alex is saying, with that defense the Bills has, a long shot. And it's a long shot indeed, Alex. I mean, you just saw what we had to do in order to make it happen. But a shot nonetheless, Rico. A shot nonetheless.
So you say there's a chance. Absolutely.
We have Moose. Josh Allen and Haley are having a baby? Is this just in? Are we getting dad mode Josh Allen? Is this breaking news?
Let me have a peek.
Let me head over to the Twitterverse real quick.
I mean, it should be right front page news, but I don't.
Oh my God! Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld are having a kid. We are getting dad mode Josh Allen unlocked in December. According to Elena Getzenberg, one of the beat reporters for the Buffalo Bills for ESPN. Quote, in her newsletter, Bo Society, Haley Steinfeld has shared that she and Bills quarterback Josh Allen are expecting. Welcome
Absolutely
to the Dad Club, J.A.
Beautiful news. Absolutely beautiful news. There it is. Watch out. Papa Allen.
How about that? At the conclusion of a Friday Rico and Bot, we get a pregnancy announcement from Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld. Listen, we were just talking about it. We're talking about a long shot. We need everything to go our way. Did we just unlock another version of Josh Allen where he's saying, I got to dial in. I'm going to be a dad. I gotta lock in.
I got to do this for the family. I got to do this for my family. Are you kidding me? You're not going to stop me from feeding my family. I need this. I love it. I'm all over it.
Congrats to 17, man. How great is that?
That's massive. Oh, I love that. That's great news. All right.
What a couple of years for 17, right? MVP, marriage, now expecting. He's on every commercial on television. You know what's left, Rico. You know what's left.
Bring it home. Bring it home, J.A. Bring it home, J.A. Let's go.
Bring it home. Speaking of bring it home. Go ahead. Sorry, Rico.
There's a lot of people that listen. Brady, Shakir, Knox. Bro, like, well, what's in the water in Buffalo?
Having a good time, man.
Have babies, baby. Let's go.
They saw Bot, and they said, I got to get after it. I got to get on par.
You're a pioneer.
I love it. Hey, speaking of this incredible showdown on Sunday between the Bills and the Patriots, the action's going to be incredible. Make it even more incredible with a sleeper slip. Link in the description below. Click that, sign up for a sleeper account. Once you do, you will immediately get a free $20 entry to use on Sleeper. You can use that for the Bills-Patriots game, any of the games in Week 15, NBA, NHL, you name it, it's all in one place over on Sleeper. Once you use your free $20 entry, use the promo code on your screen, BF25. That will get you a 100% match up to $100 on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper terms of use for details. Currently available in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper via the link in the description below. And real quick, check out my sleeper slip that I crafted up for the Bills and the Patriots game. Let's hold on a minute. I'm pulling it up. Of course, I'm using a different browser. Your browser has been blocked. Of course, it's been blocked. I'm using a different browser because for some reason, Google Chrome does not want to let me stream anymore. And this isn't the way I wanted it to look, but this is the way it's going to look right now. Sorry. I currently have 3 picks in my sleeper slip for Bills Patriots. Drake May with the free pick. Thank you, Rico, on the back end. How about that move? The nice little pass. I Ray Allen'd it in the corner, hoping to hit this sleeper pick as well. Drake May free pick, more than a half yard. Then I got James Cook getting in the end zone. I got Dalton Kincaid, more than 41.5 receiving yards. To me, that's the path for the Bills to win. James Cook having a day. Dalton Kincaid having a day. That should mean the Bills having a day. So that's my slip. You want to tell it or create your own. Link in the description below. Sleeper. Free $20 entry. Once you use that, BF25 is the code. That'll get you a 100% match up to $100 on your first deposit. Rico, Christmas is around the corner, and rumor has it you got a big Christmas party you got to get to tonight.
I got a big Christmas party. Listen, my weekend is jam-packed, so I got a Christmas party this evening. That's why we did an early show. And then tomorrow morning, I got a soccer game with my daughter. And then in the afternoon, I got to pick up my eldest that she's flying in for Christmas. So that's going to be fun-packed. And then we have another Christmas for the kids that we're doing a little party with the neighbors. I've never been in a neighborhood that our neighbors are actually friends and we hang out. Where I lived last time, bro, the only time I'd say hi to my neighbors is when I was picking up my garbage bin and bringing it to the front. Now we actually hang out. It's crazy. Fun-filled weekend. And then we have Sunday where I'm going to be on with my boy Bot. We're going to do the pregame. We're going to do the game. And then we're going to do the postgame. And we're going to be singing that shout song. And hopefully we're a little bit more in sync. And we can get that cracking. But I'm looking forward to it. Big weekend. What about you, man? You're going to be solo dolo this weekend, potentially.
Caroline and Zoe got their big holiday party tonight as well. A nice pajama party with Caroline's friends, so they'll be off doing that. And we'll be off doing the show once again with you here on Sunday. We can't wait for it because it's one of the games of the year. So we just can't wait. Seriously. I mean, we talked about it all night, but I can't wait to talk about it again more with you on Sunday. We got a couple more super chats before we close out, Rico.
Yeah, we do. We got my guy Signified Nose comes in and says, so we just got our future QB in about 20 to 21 years from now.
Oh, I like the way you're thinking, Signified.
I love the way you're thinking. And right now, nepotism is going to be at an all-time high. We're going to have a 6'5", 6'6". Who knows? Maybe baby girl's going to be a big-time volleyball player. She's going to be spiking all over the place. Or we're going to have Josh Jr. coming through to Buffalo. Ain't that going to be something? So big shout out to my man Signified Nose. We got another one from our guy Money Mitch.
The lobster.
Comes in and says, hey, Bot, I'm just preparing you now, man. If we win the Super Bowl but lose the division, Dave Partner will say it doesn't count. Said the same thing about Ohio State's Natty last year. I can think of 27 to 9 reasons he's an idiot. Boy, did Dave Partner go off the other day on this betting thing. My Lord.
Now, he's also going off about that insane Michigan scandal as well. So he's had a week. Holy moly.
Listen, Michigan scandal. Just give me your quick thoughts on that. What are your thinking on that situation there?
Insane. Within one day, that whole program was flipped upside down. Within like a couple of hours, he went from thinking nothing of it to all of a sudden like a complete 180. I've really never seen anything like it.
Fellas, it's not worth it. It absolutely is not worth it because it ends up getting blown up in your face. You're too prominent of a person that you can just go under wraps. It gets blown up. None of these coaches are unscathed. They're not. I've been hearing all these players talk on these podcasts. They see it all the time, and it gets blown up. It may not get blown up right away, but it gets blown up at some point. Man, oh man, what a awful, awful situation to be in. You feel for the family. You got kids. You got a daughter, bro. You got a wife that's embarrassed. You embarrassed the whole family, yourself, and just a mess. Just an absolute mess.
I can't believe it. It's crazy. You know, every time you read something, it just kept getting crazier. Mitch is also adding, it's the biggest college football scandal since the last Michigan scandal. Yeah, no kidding. It has been a wild last half decade for the Michigan Wolverines. But you know who the benefactor of that is? My main man, Money Mitch's Ohio State Buckeyes. So he's doing just fine. Dio's closing us out saying, I'm hearing the Bills might play overseas next year. Wouldn't shock me. Didn't play overseas this year. The Bills or the NFL is just piling up those overseas games. Wouldn't be stunned at all if the Bills wound up playing somewhere overseas next year. Because if they don't next year, you can pretty much guarantee they will the following year. Because more and more we're seeing this. Like, it's going to get to the point where every team's going to do it every year. It's getting to that point.
Just get it over and done with early as possible and just get it just maybe second game. Let us be the road team. That's all I'm going to say. Let us be the road team.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't want to lose a home game in that new stadium. So,
boom, you got it.
We'll see. And we'll also see you on Sunday. We can't wait for it. Bills, Patriots, we'll get you set on the pregame show. Pierre has you locked down for the game stream. And then, of course, postgame, Rico and I will recap everything we see in Week 15 between the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. But in the meantime, that's going to do it for us on this episode of Rico and Bot. We hope you have a terrific rest of your Friday. Enjoy your Saturday. We'll see you Sunday. Much love, as always, and go Bills.
Go Bills.